Ah, so I didn't do much HYLIION recording. Sorry. So I didn't do much talking about HYLIION yesterday when we went on our 30-kilometer walk. Why? Because I was just focusing on finishing off that 30-kilometer walk. And actually, it was a really beautiful scenic walk. So instead of talking about stocks and stuff like that, I just wanted to enjoy the walk. It was pretty tough though. 30 kilometers one day. That's a little tough, especially when you're in your mid 40s and your body is slowly falling apart. I know someone's gonna use that against me, right? Vegan, body falling apart. I'm just waiting for all those comments in the comment sections. Anyways, jokes aside, another development recently at HYLIION was apparently they're expanding their sales team, and already I saw some backlash on Twitter. People talking about like, hey, apparently you haven't been able to sell anything or at least get any finalized, orders, and here you are hiring more salespeople, right? I mean, some people may see that as sort of a red flag. It's like, if you need to hire more salespeople and you've been trying to sell this thing for a long time and you still don't have any binding orders as far as people know, some might see that as a red flag, right? I mean, if you have a great product, they say it will sell itself. You don't need to push something that's truly incredible. And I don't know. I honestly don't know what to make of it. I really don't. I really don't. I thought about it, and I find it interesting that HYLIION continued to sort of expand their war chest when it comes to their personnel. They continue hiring people, and that of course costs money, and their capitalization, their cash position continues to dwindle, not at an alarming rate, but it does continue going down. And obviously any business that's slowly bleeding cash, if it doesn't turn that trend around, it's going in one direction only, bankruptcy. So, HYLIION still has a reasonably long sort of a runway to go. I think they still have enough cash probably for at least 2 years or something like that. But who knows what's going to happen in the next 2 years? Maybe anything can happen. A lot of different things can happen. The world is a very unstable place, and a lot of different unpredictable things can happen. And these guys have had a long time already to really woo potential, clients. And again, I don't know, this next earnings report, if they still don't tell us that they have real binding orders for this product, I'm going to be very concerned. And I think at this point the market is very concerned, and that is why this stock has become a penny stock. It tells you that many investors see that this could potentially be one of those companies that unfortunately goes nowhere. And the stock market graveyard is littered with tombstones of companies that all eventually had immense promise, fantastic solutions, but as a result of poor execution or poor market timing, or a lot of other different factors, it went nowhere. And you can't. It would be rather. I think it would be rather arrogant to assume that just because you bet your money on this company, this is the one that's going to make it. Nothing is guaranteed. Any and every company, even some of the perceived greatest companies in the world, sometimes do end up failing. And especially when you're dealing with a company like this that thus far has not proven anything in terms of creating a viable, long-term product that customers are going to purchase and use in the long term. We haven't seen any of that. So far what we've seen is a lot of promises. I wouldn't say promises, but suggestions, that this is a great solution, this, that, a lot of great demos and a lot of fluff and stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, I remain concerned, and I was thinking about something else too. Actually, I was thinking to myself, what sort of percentage or what element of HYLIION's solution is protected by patents? One of the things that really impressed me about HYLIION early on was they own a lot of patents, and they continued filing for more. And I thought to myself, this is great because you have an amazing solution, then you're protecting it. But then I thought to myself, all right, you know what? Let's play the devil's advocate here. Let's say these guys don't deliver. Let's say this doesn't go anywhere. What's to stop another company from looking at HYLIION's, solution and the way that they intend to solve the problem that they're trying to solve, what's to stop a competitor from basically creating something similar, working around those patents, right? I mean, just because one company fails to deliver doesn't mean another company can't, right? So I was thinking about this too, and I was thinking to myself, like, if HYLIION continues sort of dragging their heels on this, and quarter after quarter after quarter after quarter, we get the same canned responses from Thomas, the same sort of pre-recorded type sentiments. They sound like they're pre-recorded sentiments. It's almost like talking to a bot on a telephone. When you call a company like PayPal or something, you just keep talking to this automated voice. That's almost what it feels like sometimes when I listen to Thomas at this point. There's no real sort of genuine responses. It's almost like it's scripted. It's almost like he's got a legal team that tells him, this is how you respond to this question, this is how you respond to this. It's almost like listening to Mark Zuckerberg when he's facing the committee, the Senate committee, when he's responding to questions about privacy and things like that on Facebook. It's painful to listen to. There's nothing more painful when it comes to this arena than listening to Mark Zuckerberg answer questions. That to me is just, man, it's yeah. And I almost see a little bit of that in Thomas and his responses over the last few quarters when he talks to the reporters or whatever, CNBC. It's kind of similar, and that bothers me a lot. I understand that for now he's probably trying to keep some of their secret sauce close to his chest, until things move along further. But I don't know, yeah. Some of that initial luster has definitely been lost with HYLIION, and unfortunately, that's just the way it goes with investing. Nothing is a straight trajectory to the top. It never goes like that, and I don't know. So with this hiring of this new sort of expanded sales team, yeah, sure, we can see it as a positive, wonderful. We got more dedicated people to try to sell this product to fleets, but then there is that other side of the coin. And I feel like if you truly have a revolutionary, cost-saving, efficient solution that are going to improve the operations of other businesses, of your clients, you don't really need to sell that. I mean, honestly, all you do is like knock on the door and say, hey, so we got this new system here. It's going to help your company be compliant with, changing regulations regarding emissions, and it's going to save you money. And it might even help you with your efficiency and delivery times. And it's like, okay, where do I sign? You don't need a sales team for that, You just need to put out a couple of videos on YouTube showing the specs and everything else, and make sure those specs are, reviewed and sort of certified and that sort of thing. And then it's a no-brainer. But if you need like highly qualified, like really experienced, top-tier salespeople, then that kind of concerns me, because the more effort you need to put into selling something, the less viable that product you're selling is. It's kind of like those vacuum cleaner salespeople in the 80s, they were going around selling the vacuum cleaners for like $3,000. Nobody needs a vacuum cleaner for $3,000. And if you need to hire like world-class salespeople to sell your product, then you have to step back and wonder, why do you need people that are so talented to sell something? Again, I'm just, I'm spitballing here. I'm sort of going all over the place with this. But, I'm just trying to look at it as neutrally as I can. And obviously that's difficult because I remain invested in the company. I did buy back a significant amount of the shares that I sold earlier. I bought them back. I believe it was at $377 a share. I wanted to be a little bit greedy and wait for the stock to drop to $350, but then I thought to myself, nah, that's a little ambitious. I just couldn't see it going down that far. Of course it could. Again, if this thing is gonna go nowhere over the next few months, over the next few quarters, then even 350 is gonna be like, we just fly past it. But at least in the near term, as we wait for the next earnings report, I thought to myself, 350 is it's a bit of a stretch. So I changed my buy order to 377, and it hit, and now we've been sort of hovering around in the low fours. But again, these near-term numbers they're almost insignificant. It's like, if these guys will eventually deliver and pull their socks up and start to perform like a real publicly trading company should perform, then numbers like 350, 377, 400, $4, $4.50 a share, they're all going to be completely insignificant, because you're going to be looking at the stock trading at 10, 12, 15, $20 a share if we do get to that point where they are actually selling this, and fleets are using it, and then other fleets want to use it because they see their competitors using it, and then it's just going to be all sunny pastures, and but I don't know if we're gonna get there. I really don't know. Again, I remain invested, but this is a real tough one. I know that whatever's gonna happen with the stock, this is probably going to be one of the best learning experiences for me as an investor, by far, more so than any other company that I've ever invested in. So I guess that's all for now regarding HYLIION. Sorry if the whole lighting and angles are bad. I'm just sitting here on the balcony. I know the sun is right behind me, and like the worst thing you can do when you're making videos is point the camera directly at the light source. But it's just the angle of the sun, and whatever. So hopefully you guys enjoyed sort of today's spin on the situation with HYLIION. I really don't know what to think about the upcoming earnings report. To be honest with you, I'm leaning towards caution. I'll be surprised if they hit a home run with this earnings report. But by home run, I mean anything that's actually seen as a positive by the market. At this point, I think there's going to be a lot of fluff. I think there's going to be a lot of kicking the can down the road. More, hey, we're facing delays, we're facing this, more excuses, more more of the same. We got a lot of interest, but no one's placing actual binding orders. So I'm expecting a lot of fluff like that. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Every single one of you guys that has been invested in HYLIION for the last few quarters, for the last year or so, you know that this is a real tough one. But here we are. So let's hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.